I believe the provincial government, I'm calling on them to extend the moratorium on commercial evictions that expired 2 days ago. And why, as well, that I've been advocating directly to the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister of Canada, Chrystia Freeland, and to the Minister of Finance for Ontario about the need for us to look at things we can do, additional things we can do to help protect small businesses.
The mayor there of Canada's largest city pleading for the feds and the province to help protect small businesses. This after the Canada Emergency Commercial Rent Assistance Program ended on Monday, while thousands of small business owners and landlords continue to struggle to make ends meet. Provinces like Saskatchewan and Manitoba have called on Ottawa to shift funding directly to tenants and let the provinces administer the program. Will the government answer that call, or are they looking for ways to make the heavily criticized program work better? Mary Ng is the Minister for Small Business. She's the one who can answer those questions for us, and she's in Markham, Ontario. Hi, Minister. Good to have you back on the program.
Always great to talk to you, Vashi. Good to be here.
So my initial question is just what's indicated in that introduction. Is your government planning to substitute now the program, the rent program that has ended for commercial tenants?
Well, as you know, and we've talked about this a whole lot, I listen to businesses and talk to them all the time. And I know right now that small businesses are not able to operate 100%. And we know that they have a fixed cost in rent that is really important. And while they are not able to operate 100% back in revenue, their rent is 100%. The finance minister was very clear the other day. We are continuing to work to adapt our supports so that we can help business owners right now into recovery. So I just want businesses to know we are hearing you, we're not going to leave you behind, and we are working on it.
Respectfully, Minister, many of them have already been left behind, right? Because the program has ended and September 1st has now come and gone. Their rent was due. They're already struggling, so many of them, to make that rent. When will you have some specifics for them about what aid they might be able to count on going forward?
Well, what I would also say, I guess, at this point is that we have all done this work and done it together in support of small businesses. So like the mayor, I would call on the continuation of the commercial rent evictions to continue by my colleagues at the provincial level. And would also call on landlords to continue to work with their small business owners who are also their tenants, but I want to assure small businesses across this country we're absolutely working on this, and we know that this expense is a really important one for you, and we want to make sure that we see you supported with this, and of course the range of other supports that we have out there for our small businesses.
I understand your point completely. Where the provinces are concerned, I think there are questions I need to be directing at them, and I will when they appear on the show about what they plan to do, especially when it comes to that moratorium on commercial evictions. But my questions are specifically for the role the federal government will play. And I said to you in the break how many people reach out to me and to the show. The biggest issue throughout the pandemic, I would argue, at least from the communication I received for so many small business owners, was rent. And this program that really didn't meet their needs even while it was in existence. Now it's no longer in existence. Can you tell us on this show, can you tell small business owners who are watching that they will have more details on what aid they could possibly count on, at least before the next month's rent is due?
Well, I can absolutely tell small businesses here that we understand this really important expense. And we, and I'll repeat sort of what the finance minister said the other day pretty clearly. We are working to adapt our supports to help these businesses, to help you through this tough time. Some of the other supports that are there, like the wage subsidy and the extension of the small business loan just a couple of days ago, will also continue to go a long way at helping. This is a tough time. Our job right now, and it has always been, to help their businesses manage through this pandemic and now to bridge them through this recovery. So I just want to assure businesses, absolutely, we are working on supports that you're going to need so that you can bridge your way through to this, through this pandemic.
And will you communicate those before their next month's rent is due?
We're working as quickly and as fast as we possibly can. And I do know how hard it is for businesses because I talk to them all the time. And I want them to know that we are working as hard as we possibly can because we understand how tough this is, and know that we will we'll have more to say about that very soon.
Let me ask you for a bit more on your thinking, I guess, as you figure out what set of supports might best help small business owners, especially when it comes to the commercial rent piece. When I say that many have complained about the construct of the program, it's not just anecdotal. I mean, we know from the Parliamentary Budget Officer that really it's projected only to have about a third of the uptake that the federal government had thought there might be. So only a third of the money the federal government was going to spend on it will actually be spent. Are you considering big changes, for example, not predicating the program on landlords using it, instead maybe giving the money directly to provinces or directly to tenants and having the provinces administer it?
Well, all those are very, very terrific and excellent points. I mean, we know that close to 90,000 businesses have received the support right now through the program, and those very points that you raise are exactly the issues that businesses have raised to us, and that's essentially what we're working on right now. Like I said, to adapt those supports so that we can help our businesses through this tough time.
Are you open, Minister, to, as Saskatchewan and Manitoba have proposed, directly giving the money to tenants and having provinces administer it? Are you open to that idea?
We are. I've always said right from the very beginning, we're always open to ideas and adaptations that ultimately, at the end of the day, work and help Canadians and help businesses. And this is not going to be any different.
Do you understand how, and I'm not meaning to harp on it, but again, I'm driven by the communication that I get. Do you understand how frustrating it might be for people who are watching and hearing that they might not even know about that before their next month's rent is due? And I ask just because September came and went, right? The first has come and gone, and people are some businesses are unable to pay their rent and now worried about eviction again, right?
I understand, and to the businesses that are out there listening to this, I understand how tough it is and how hard it is. And in fact, indeed, how hard you work in building something for for so many businesses. You put everything into it. So I absolutely understand. I understand the urgency. And I want to assure you that we are absolutely working to adapt our supports for you. Rent, of course, is one. It's a component. It's a very important component, no question. But remember, I mean, I've talked to so many businesses where they said, look, help me with my people expenses. Help me with some of that working capital. Extending the CBA for another couple of months is going to help many, many more businesses with that working capital. Almost 750,000 businesses today are eligible. Well, not eligible. They've actually received the support, and many more will also get that help. So rent absolutely is important. We're working on it, but I look at this as an arrangement of support that really needs to help businesses with their people costs, with their working capital costs, and also with this fixed cost.
Yeah, no, I take your point on that, and certainly my focus on the rent question is because, like I pointed out, that the program itself had, arguably was the least successful of the measures that you put out. Others have been very successful. I would point to CBA, for example, which had huge uptake, which I know both yourself and the finance minister pointed out a few days ago. I've also heard from small businesses who might have gone through the $40,000 already. I know you've extended the program. Are you considering upping the amount of money that people can borrow under that program and making any more of it forgivable?
Well, we're listening to businesses and talking to businesses, I guess the answer here, like everything we are doing throughout this pandemic, being very attuned to what businesses need, helping them bridge through this, and there are no ideas that are off the table. And we're going to continue having your back, having the back of businesses, and to continue working on those supports, because nothing is more important to us than ensuring that our businesses are successful. I mean, all of our incredible communities across the country are made up of incredible businesses, and that is what adds to the vibrancy of our communities. And they have my commitment, absolute commitment, and this government's commitment. We're going to keep working with you to make sure you're supported through this tough time, and so that we can get on that economic recovery.
So just to be clear, you are, under consideration is expanding the amount of money businesses can borrow on people and business owners can borrow under CBA?
Under consideration are a whole range of ideas that small businesses tell me that they need in an effort to bridge them through this period. So lots of ideas and lots of ideas and all ideas are being listened to.
Okay, Minister, before I let you go, I have a question on a separate subject that I just wanted to make sure I got you on the record. Actually, a point of clarification. We've done a lot of reporting at the CBC, my colleague Ashley Burke, on the Governor General. And before you ran for your seat in Markham, you were the Director of Appointments in the Prime Minister's office. Were you in any way involved in the selection or vetting of Julie Payette?
No, I was not. That occurred after I had left my post in the Prime Minister's office.
Okay, I'm glad I got that on the record then. Thanks so much, Minister Ng. I appreciate your time as always this evening.
Good. Thank you so much. Bye, Vashi.
That's Mary Ng. She's the Minister for Small Business. She joined us, from Markham, Ontario. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.